The Sunridge Market was a place where afternoons drifted by in predictable rhythms. The squeak of shopping carts on linoleum, the low hum of refrigerators, and the faint aroma of baked bread filled the air. Mothers called to children, clerks scanned items with mechanical precision, and the soft chatter of patrons created a steady backdrop. Life here was ordinary, almost dull. Then came a man who made the ordinary seem extraordinary. He moved with quiet authority, though he had no need to announce it. His suit, charcoal gray and impeccably tailored, hugged him like armor. His polished shoes tapped softly on the floor, echoing slightly in the wide, fluorescent-lit aisles. In his hand, a sleek metallic card glimmered, a symbol of a life built on ambition, wealth, and power. He approached the register with the ease of someone who owned not just businesses, but entire skylines. But when the card was swiped, the screen blinked back an unexpected verdict. Declined. Time seemed to slow. Whispers rose like ripples on water. The cashier, a woman in her 20s with a tired smile, froze, then laughed, loud and brittle. The sound cut through the hum of the store like shattered glass. Patrons leaned forward, curiosity mingling with schadenfreude. The man's jaw tightened, and for the first time in decades, he felt small. Beside him, a little girl clutched his hand. Her braids were uneven, her clothes faded but clean. Her eyes, wide and honest, met his. She didn't see a powerful tycoon. She saw a man in pain, a stranger who needed help. Nobody in the store knew that this man, Damian Cole, carried wealth that could rival countries. Nobody realized that this fleeting moment would become a turning point, not just for him, but for everyone who witnessed it. Damian Cole was a man shaped by ambition. He had risen from modest beginnings to the pinnacle of finance, real estate, and technology. His name was etched on towers that pierced the clouds. His decisions influenced markets, and his wealth was the kind that inspired awe and envy. Yet in Sunridge Market, all of that counted for nothing. He was reduced to a man whose card failed at the checkout counter, a humbling reminder that even the mighty can falter. For years, Damian had hidden behind status, money, and carefully cultivated respect. He rarely looked beyond the glass walls of boardrooms or the polished marble floors of his offices. Life, to him, had been about numbers, acquisitions, and legacy. And now, in this small-town grocery store, stripped of anonymity and power, he was faced with something far more uncomfortable: humility. The cashier's laughter continued, sharp and unrelenting. Patrons whispered, some with amusement, others with subtle judgment. Damian felt the heat of embarrassment creeping up his neck. His hand tightened around his wallet, yet he said nothing, bowed under the weight of a reality he hadn't encountered in decades. The little girl, named Mira, tugged at his sleeve. She had no knowledge of Damian's fortune, his skyscrapers, or the business empires he commanded. What she understood, however, was clear and simple. Some people hurt, and hurt deserved kindness. From the pocket of her worn jacket, she pulled out a small bundle, 2 crumpled bills, and a few coins. It was all she had, the sum of weeks of saved allowance and found coins under the couch. Here, she said, holding out her hand. Her voice was soft, almost trembling, yet carried a weight far beyond her years. I want to help. The store fell silent. Whispers ceased. Laughter dissolved into an uncomfortable hush. Patrons froze, unsure of how to react. A child, almost invisible in the crowd, had just shown more courage and empathy than any adult present. Damian stared, stunned. His eyes flickered between her tiny hand and the cashier's watchful gaze. The room seemed to shrink around him. In that moment, something inside Damian shifted. A warmth spread through him, unfamiliar and foreign. Tears he had buried for decades pricked the corners of his eyes. Mira, with her small, selfless act, had offered him something priceless, a mirror reflecting the humanity he had long neglected. Damian's voice trembled as he bent down to Mira's level. "Thank you," he whispered, his usual calm authority replaced by raw emotion. "Thank you for reminding me what really matters." She smiled faintly, unaware of the life-altering impact she had just had. To her, he was just a man who needed help, and she had done what felt right. The cashier's grin faded. A few shoppers averted their eyes, suddenly aware of their own cruelty. The power dynamic had shifted entirely. Money, status, and pride had no place here. Only kindness mattered. Instead of retreating to the luxury waiting outside, Damian walked with Mira through the narrow streets toward her home. The neighborhood was modest, with uneven pavements and houses weathered by time. Her home was a small, two-story dwelling, paint peeling from its siding, a porch sagging under years of use. Inside, her mother tended to a simmering pot, folding laundry in the corner while keeping an eye on her youngest child. Damian watched quietly, noting the warmth in the air, despite the meager surroundings. This world was raw, imperfect, and yet alive with small, quiet victories. The mother's kind smile, free of judgment or awe, welcomed him without hesitation. That night, Damian could not sleep. Mira's small act haunted him, the courage of a child to give even when she had so little. For decades, he had equated wealth with numbers, power, and tangible assets. Now he realized, true wealth lies in the generosity of spirit. Days passed. Damian could not shake the feeling that something had shifted irreversibly within him. His world of contracts, skyscrapers, and stock portfolios seemed hollow compared to the richness of Mira's empathy. He made a choice that would redefine him. He launched the Cole Foundation, dedicated to aiding struggling families, funding education, repairing homes, and supporting communities. But this was no mere philanthropic exercise. Damian immersed himself in the work, walking streets, entering homes, listening to stories, and connecting with people he had long ignored. Mira became the quiet heart of this transformation, the child who reminded a man with everything what it truly meant to have enough. Her courage and kindness were celebrated not for publicity, but as a testament to the power of human goodness. Years later, Damian Cole's name was remembered not for skyscrapers or billions, but for the day his card failed and a little girl's heart changed him. People spoke of his foundation, but more than that, they spoke of his humility, his compassion, and the shift from a man obsessed with wealth to one devoted to humanity. Mira's story became a quiet legend in Sunridge, the child who taught a billionaire the worth of kindness. Her small hand, extended in courage, had done what no fortune or title could accomplish. She had opened a heart, reshaped a life, and inspired a legacy that would outlast any building or balance sheet. That Damian often recalled that day. And the image of Mira offering her coins would remain etched in his mind forever. He understood now that wealth was not measured by currency or material success, but by the ability to give selflessly, to recognize humanity, and to act with courage when others hesitate. The foundation grew. Communities flourished, and countless lives were touched. But Damian never forgot the lesson he learned at a grocery store that ordinary afternoon. It was the smallest act that changed the largest heart. If this story moved you, remember that the power to change lives does not lie in your wealth or status. It lies in your courage to act, your kindness to give, and your heart to see humanity where others see weakness. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this story with someone who needs a reminder that compassion can change the world. And before you go, tell us, would you have done what Mira did that day? Comment below. Because sometimes the smallest hands can leave the largest marks on the world.